I believe you didn't come across this by accident. This isn't just another video, just another message scrolling by. This is a divine appointment. God knows exactly where you are, what you've been carrying, and what you've been praying for. And I want to speak something deep into your spirit today. You are God's chosen one. You're not random. You're not overlooked. You're not just surviving life. You've been set apart for something greater. Maybe people have labeled you, counted you out, or told you that you don't have what it takes. But God doesn't choose the qualified. He qualifies the chosen. And if this message has reached you, it's because God wants to remind you, you've been marked for purpose, and nothing, no mistake, no setback, no person, can cancel what He's already spoken over your life. He's not waiting for you to be perfect. He's waiting for you to recognize that His hand is already on you. And when God chooses someone, that choice comes with favor, with protection, with divine appointments that you don't even see coming. So don't be discouraged by what hasn't happened yet. If this found you, it's because your time is near. God is about to shift something in your favor. You are not random. You are handpicked by God for a divine purpose. You weren't born at the wrong time, in the wrong place, or to the wrong family. Before you ever took your first breath, God had already written your name into the pages of purpose. You didn't slip through the cracks. You weren't an afterthought. You were formed with intention, with detail, with destiny in mind, and the very fact that you're still standing, still breathing, still showing up, that's not by chance, that's by divine design. The world may see you as ordinary, but heaven sees you as chosen. You've been marked by God for something greater. You carry something inside of you that the enemy has tried to suffocate because he knows if you ever discover who you really are, you'll become unstoppable. That's why the attacks were so strong. That's why the battles felt heavier than what you thought you could bear. The enemy wasn't attacking you over where you are. He's been attacking you over where you're going. Because deep down, even hell knows you've been set apart. It's easy to look around and feel like you've been overlooked, like your life doesn't measure up to others. But God doesn't choose based on appearance, popularity, or pedigree. He chooses based on purpose. He saw something in you that others couldn't see. He saw the strength behind your struggle. He saw the potential hidden behind your pain. And while others were passing you by, God was preparing you. He was building a foundation in private that He's going to reveal in public. Being chosen doesn't mean you'll always feel qualified. In fact, most of the time you won't. You'll feel stretched, uncertain, even inadequate. But God doesn't look for perfection. He looks for surrender. And if you've been feeling the weight of something greater, it's because you were never created to live small. You weren't made to fit in. You were created to stand out. The hand of God is on your life, and it's not because you've done everything right. It's because His grace has covered every wrong. When God chooses you, He equips you. When He appoints you, He anoints you. And you don't have to chase favor. It will follow you. You don't have to force your way into rooms. God will open the right doors at the right time. You just have to stay available, stay faithful, stay planted. Because what's coming is not about who you were. It's about who God is calling you to become. Rejection can be painful. It stings when someone walks away, when a door closes, when the opportunity you prayed for doesn't work out. But what if that closed door wasn't a failure? What if it was a favor in disguise? What if God used that no to protect you from something you couldn't see? See, when you're chosen by God, not everyone will be able to recognize the calling on your life. And that's okay, because your value isn't based on people's validation. It's anchored in God's decision to choose you. Some of the greatest breakthroughs begin with rejection. Joseph was rejected by his own brothers. David was overlooked by his own father. Jesus Himself was despised and rejected, but each of them was chosen by God for a greater purpose. So don't let the rejection define you, let it refine you. Let it strengthen your trust that if they walked away, they weren't meant to go where God is taking you. That job that didn't call you back, that friend who turned their back on you, that relationship that ended, it may have felt like a loss, but it was really alignment. God will sometimes allow rejection because He's trying to reroute your path. He knows where certain roads will lead. He sees the hearts of people we can't. And if staying in that place, that circle, that opportunity would have limited your growth, He'll remove it, even if it breaks your heart for a moment, because God isn't just after your comfort, He's after your calling. And sometimes you have to be rejected by people to be repositioned by heaven. When you're chosen, you have to understand that rejection is not always personal. It's purposeful. It's God's way of saying, I have something better. I'm not punishing you. I'm protecting you. I'm not delaying you. I'm directing you. It may not make sense now, but one day you'll look back and say, God, thank you for the doors you didn't open. Thank you for the people who walked away, because what you had in mind was so much greater. Rejection is not a sign that you're less than. It's a sign that you're being preserved for something more. You were never meant to be liked by everyone. You weren't created to blend in. You were created to be set apart. And part of being set apart means you won't always fit into certain rooms, relationships, or roles. But take heart. When one place pushes you out, it just makes room for where you truly belong. And when God opens that next door, no one will be able to close it if you're feeling heavy, burdened, or like you're carrying more than you can handle. I want to encourage you today. The weight you feel is not a sign of defeat. It's a sign of divine destiny. The challenges, the pressures, the obstacles you're facing aren't there to crush you. They're there to prepare you. Because the greater the calling, the greater the weight of responsibility. God doesn't give you more than you can handle. He equips you to handle what's coming. Think about the story of David. He was a young shepherd boy who was out in the fields, protecting sheep. In the natural, it seemed insignificant. But David didn't know that the lion and the bear he fought were preparing him to face the giant. The weight of those small battles was preparing him for the weight of a nation. God was testing his courage, his skill, and his heart, because David would need all of those qualities to fulfill his destiny as king. The challenges you face right now are not signs that you're on the wrong path. They're evidence that you're on the right one. Every battle is building your faith. Every challenge is strengthening your resilience. Every setback is teaching you how to bounce back stronger. God doesn't waste anything. Even your struggles have purpose. The weight you carry today is preparing you for the weight you will carry tomorrow. When you're chosen by God, it's not a life of ease. It's a life of purpose. You were created to carry something significant, and carrying that weight takes character, integrity, and a deep trust in God. You may feel overwhelmed right now, but don't underestimate what's happening behind the scenes. God is strengthening you, building your capacity to handle greater responsibility, and developing the tools you need to fulfill your destiny. The Bible tells us that God will never give us more than we can bear. That means that the weight you feel right now, no matter how heavy it may seem, is within your capacity. If God has allowed it, it's because He knows you can handle it. You are stronger than you realize. Your endurance is being built in ways you can't see right now. Every tear, every sleepless night, every moment of frustration is forming you into the person who will carry the blessing with grace, humility, and strength. You may not understand why things are happening the way they are, but rest in this truth. God is not just preparing the promise for you, He's preparing you for the promise. The weight you're carrying now is evidence that you are chosen for something far greater. When the time comes and the blessing unfolds in your life, you will realize that it was all worth it. You'll be able to handle the weight, the responsibility, and the purpose because God has been building you for this moment. There's a season of preparation that happens before God ever reveals you to the world. It's often in those private moments, those moments when you feel invisible, when you wonder if anyone notices, that God is actually doing the most significant work in your life. You might feel like you're in hiding, like you're not moving forward, like nothing is happening. But God is working behind the scenes, shaping you, refining you, preparing you for what's ahead. Think about Joseph. Before he became second in command over all of Egypt, he was betrayed by his brothers, sold into slavery, falsely accused, and thrown into prison. It seemed like the world had forgotten about him, but what others saw as hiding was actually God's time of preparation. God was building Joseph's character, teaching him humility, patience, and leadership. When the time came, Joseph wasn't just placed in a position. He was prepared for it. He had the wisdom, the integrity, and the strength to handle what God had planned for him all along. In the same way, God often allows us to go through a season where we feel hidden, where our dreams seem distant, and where others don't see what's inside of us. But what we fail to realize in those moments is that God is working in us. He's getting us ready for the world to see what He's placed in us. This hidden season isn't rejection, it's preparation. It's God's way of ensuring that when you step into the promise He has for you, you'll be ready to carry it. There's a power in being hidden by God. It's in the quiet moments, the moments of solitude, the times when it feels like you're not moving forward, that God strengthens you. He's testing your resolve, your patience, your faith. He's getting you to a place where you're no longer depending on people or circumstances to determine your worth. You're learning to depend on Him alone, to trust His timing, to know that when it's time for you to be revealed, nothing can stop it. Many people dream of the spotlight, of being seen and recognized. But God knows that if He revealed you too early, the weight of the spotlight might crush you. You wouldn't be ready to handle the responsibility, the pressure, and the scrutiny that comes with the position. So, God lets you grow in private. He lets you work on your craft in the hidden places where no one is watching, and when the time is right, He will launch you into what He has prepared for you. The world will see the fruit of what God has been cultivating in you all along. So if you feel like you're in a hidden season, don't be discouraged. Don't compare yourself to others. Just remember, God hides His chosen ones before He launches them. He's working in you now so that you can handle what's coming next. Your time will come, and when it does, you will be ready when you're chosen by God. It doesn't mean life is going to be easy. It doesn't mean that you'll avoid struggles, difficulties, or opposition. In fact, sometimes being chosen means you'll face even greater challenges, because the bigger the calling, the bigger the battle. But here's the good news. God doesn't call you to something without also equipping you for it. Every challenge you face, every battle you fight, every obstacle in your path has been allowed by God to strengthen you, to build your faith, and to prepare you for what He has in store. Look at Moses. He was chosen by God to lead the Israelites out of Egypt, to do the impossible, take a people enslaved for hundreds of years, and lead them to freedom. But the task was not easy. There were countless obstacles, Pharaoh's resistance, the wilderness, the murmuring of the people. Yet God gave Moses everything he needed. He gave him the courage to face Pharaoh, the wisdom to lead the people, and the faith to believe that God would provide. The task was monumental, but God's provision and power were even greater. In the same way, the challenges in your life aren't there to defeat you. They're there to equip you for your calling. When you face the impossible, it's not a sign that you're on the wrong path. It's a sign that you're walking in the right direction. The greater the dream, the greater the opposition. But know that God is with you every step of the way. He has equipped you with everything you need to overcome. You might not feel like you have the strength today, but God is building strength in you. You might feel like you don't have the wisdom, but God is increasing your understanding. You might feel like you're out of resources, but God is providing in ways you don't see yet. God doesn't ask you to do something without giving you the tools to do it. When He calls you, He also enables you. The power that raised Jesus from the dead is available to you. The same God who parted the Red Sea is the same God who is walking with you through every storm. He's not asking you to fight battles in your own strength. He's giving you His strength, and when you rely on Him, He will do the impossible through you. It's easy to get discouraged when things don't go as planned, when the road gets tough, when you face rejection or failure. But let me remind you, being chosen means you have what it takes. The fact that you're still here, still fighting, still holding on, that's evidence of the power of God working in your life. He has equipped you for this. Whatever you're facing today, know that you are not facing it alone. You've been chosen, and God will not leave you empty-handed. So keep moving forward. Keep trusting Him. Even when the road seems impossible, remember this. God never calls you to a battle He hasn't already won. He has equipped you with everything you need to walk through it, and when the dust settles, you will stand victorious, because God's strength is made perfect in your weakness. One of the greatest challenges we face as God's chosen ones is feeling unqualified. We look at our flaws, our shortcomings, our past mistakes, and we wonder how God could possibly use someone like us for His great purposes. We see all the reasons why we're not good enough, and we question why God would choose us. But here's the truth. God doesn't choose us because we're qualified. He chooses us because He wants to show His glory through our lives. Think about Gideon. Gideon was a man hiding in a winepress, fearful and full of doubt. When the angel of the Lord called him to deliver the Israelites from the Midianites, Gideon didn't see a hero. He saw someone unqualified, someone who didn't measure up. He even asked, "Why me? My family is the weakest, and I am the least in my family." Gideon felt unqualified, unprepared, and incapable, but God didn't choose him because he had the best resume. God chose him because He was going to equip him, and more importantly, He was going to go with him. God doesn't call the qualified, He qualifies the called. And when He calls you, He doesn't just leave you to figure it out on your own. He covers you with His presence, His strength, and His wisdom. When you feel like you're not enough, when you feel like you can't measure up, that's when God steps in and says, "I am enough for you. I will give you everything you need to succeed in what I've called you to." Just like He did with Gideon, God will give you the tools you need to walk in your purpose, even when you feel like you're not equipped. It's in our moments of weakness that God's power is most evident. When we feel unqualified, that's when God's grace shows up in the most beautiful way. He takes our imperfections and uses them to display His perfect power. You don't have to have it all figured out. You don't have to have all the answers. You just need to say yes to God's call, trust that He is with you, and allow Him to lead you through every step. There will be times when you question yourself, when you doubt your ability to fulfill the calling God has placed on your life. But in those moments, remember this: God will never call you to something without covering you. He's not looking for perfection. He's looking for surrender. He's not looking for someone who has all the qualifications. He's looking for someone who's willing to step out in faith and trust that He will equip them for the journey ahead. So if you've been feeling unqualified, remember this: God doesn't choose you because of your ability. He chooses you because of your availability. He will cover you with His grace, He will guide you with His wisdom, and He will give you the strength you need to walk in your purpose. You are not alone. When God calls you, He covers you, and He equips you to do the impossible. As I close today, I want you to understand something incredibly important. You are not here by accident. You are here because God has chosen you. You may not fully understand it yet, but the purpose, the calling, and the destiny on your life are greater than you could ever imagine. Everything you've been through, every challenge you've faced, every struggle has been part of God's plan to shape you, mold you, and prepare you for the incredible purpose He has for your life. When you feel like no one sees you, when you feel like you're hidden or overlooked, remember that God is working in you in ways you can't always see. You are His chosen one, and He is preparing you in private so that you can shine in public. The rejection, the delays, the waiting, they are not setbacks, they are setups. They are God's way of preparing you for the fullness of your calling. God's timing is always perfect. If you're in a season of waiting, Trust that He is working things out behind the scenes. He's making connections, opening doors, and setting the stage for your breakthrough. You are not waiting in vain. Every moment of waiting, every season of uncertainty, is a moment of preparation. And when the time is right, God will launch you into the purpose He has always had for you. I know that at times you might feel unqualified. You may look at your past mistakes, your flaws, and feel like you're not enough. But let me remind you, God doesn't choose you because you're perfect. He chooses you because He has a plan to make you whole. When you feel weak, that's when His strength shines brightest. When you feel unqualified, that's when He qualifies you. Your weakness is the very thing that makes room for His power to be displayed. So don't look at your current situation and let it define you. Look at where God is taking you and let that be your definition. The journey may not always be easy, but God has equipped you for every step. He's prepared you for the impossible, and He is with you every step of the way. As you go through this life, remember this truth. You are God's chosen one, and nothing can stop His purpose for you. He is for you, He is with you, and He has great things in store. Believe that today, and walk confidently in the destiny that God has already secured for you. Your story is far from finished. In fact, it's just beginning. Keep pressing forward, keep trusting, and keep believing that God's timing is always right. You are chosen, you are equipped, and you are ready.